diversification in a more detail. What is this concentric diversification? What is this horizontal diversification? And what is this conglomerate diversification? So you can, as I mentioned to you, you can have three types of diversification. It can be concentric, it can be horizontal, or it can be conglomerate. What is concentric diversification? When you are introducing new products that have technological stroke marketing synergies with the existing product line, they appeal to new class of customers. The example that is taken here is ITI. It came out with a product what is called the Earth Stations. This is used for satellite communication. So you find so many companies making use of these Earth Stations produced by ITI. It was a new company was created for this purpose called the ITI Satcom, which was to assist in getting data, and this was found to be extremely useful for the planning process initially, now having lot of other applications as well. So you get the data from the field, first at the village level, then at the taluk level, then at the district level, then at the state capital level, then the national capital level, all through this ITI's Earth Stations or the satellite communication. So this is an example of concentric diversification. When you are looking at new products that have technological marketing synergies with the existing product line, appeal to new class of customers. What about this horizontal diversification? You are coming out with new products, but they have an appeal to the present customers, though technologically unrelated. Take the example of ITI itself. It was coming out with mechanical telephones. That is, you might have seen the big black telephone of ITI. So when the market started becoming competitive, it was felt by the existing customers of ITI only, or the market segments. Why not ITI come out with a sleek telephone? Why this heavy black telephone, this mechanical dialing? Result, towards the end of 80s, ITI came out with what is called cordless telephone. This cordless telephone was a very satisfying entry to ITI with respect to their new product segment, and their existing customers also found this product to be one, handy, second, easily usable, third, can be taken out of this base stand to a distance. That is, a person is, let us say, wants to talk in a room. You can take it out from the hall base stand, go to the room, talk, complete that, and come back and put the phone down in the base. So all this was possible using the cordless phone. This is an example of horizontal diversification. When we come to what is called the conglomerate diversification, what is it that you are doing? You are looking at new products. The appeal is to new class of customers. It is not your existing customers. What are you trying to do? It offsets some deficiency, or it presents a great environmental opportunity. So for a company like ITC, this hotel industry provided a great environmental opportunities which was lapped up by the company and came out with a large number of hotels starting from Windsor Manor in Bangalore to different parts of the country and also the globe. Okay, these are the three types of growth opportunities you can visualize for a company. One is the intensive growth opportunities. Second is the integrative growth opportunities. Third is the diversification. In all these three growth opportunities, again there are three in each of them, making up to 9. Okay, we will stop here. We will continue. Thank you. Now let us look at this concept, what is called the gap analysis. What is this gap analysis? Suppose you are performing, you are in the market, your performance is at a particular level. Considering your performance to be at the same level, what is the type of forecast which you can give with respect to the company for the next 5 years? Why are you making this forecast? You are making this forecast to find out how the company is likely to move from year 1 down to year 5 based on actual levels. Kindly note that what you are performing now, given that particular scenario, go 5 years down the line, what might be the forecast? Once you provide this forecast to the management may ask you to increase this forecast level to this pink line which is coming here. So if you really see, this is the desired level which the management wants you to go to in the next 5 years. It is saying from 1 to go up to this level. So there is a gap here. The second year there is again a gap. The third again. When you are moving to the 5th year, you are seeing there is quite a gap. This difference between the actual level of forecast and the desired level of forecast which the management wants you to achieve, this is called the gap. Many times it is referred to as the strategic planning gap. So with respect to your marketing strategy, you have to fill up this gap. This gap needs to be filled. That is the job of a marketing manager. It may go by different nomenclatures in the organization, going up to the vice president of marketing. Their job mainly focuses on bridging this gap to increase sales. So the strategic planning gap is the gap between the actual level of forecast and the desired level. So in order to fill this gap, you make use of growth opportunities, which we discussed earlier. These growth opportunities can be intensive growth opportunities or integrative growth opportunities or diversification. And each of these growth opportunities has again 3. For example, intensive growth opportunities would be with respect to market penetration, with respect to market development, with respect to product development. Integrative growth opportunities can be with respect to backward, forward, and horizontal. And again you have diversification. When you have diversification, it can be concentric diversification, or it can be horizontal diversification, or it can be conglomerate diversification. So these are the options that are available to you as a manager to bridge this gap between the actual level and the desired level. This gap can be bridged, making use of these growth opportunities. So this diagram which is presented here depicts what is called the gap analysis, and the gap is with respect to the actual level of forecast and the desired level. Many times it is also referred to as the strategic planning gap. This gap can be bridged by identifying different growth opportunities for the company. The different growth opportunities could be intensive, integrative, or diversification. Now, if you look at this next diagram again with reference to gap analysis, this makes this position even more clear. So the forecast actual level, the gap. Now you build it up using, let us say, intensive growth opportunities or integrative growth opportunities or diversification. So you have got 3 lines representing this bridging. Okay, so you have intensive, integrative, and diversification, almost with respect to the sales. Everything with respect to the sales. So this is another depiction of how the gap is sought to be built by making use of growth opportunities. Now we come to a very important matrix which was given by this gentleman called Ansoff. He gave what is called a product market expansion matrix What is this product market expansion matrix? It is with respect to your present products and new products, present markets and new markets. So if you see this diagram, it is a 2 by 2 matrix. It is a 2 by 2 matrix. So when you are looking at products, it is present product, it is new product. When you are looking at markets, it is present markets, new markets. When you are looking at the present product and the present market, you are looking at market penetration. So market penetration looks at present product and present market. When you are looking at the present market but with a new product, you are looking at product development. Suppose you are looking at the present product with a new market, you are looking at market development. Suppose you are looking at a new product and a new market, you are looking at diversification. So a present product and a present market gives you market penetration. A present product and a new market gives you market development. A new product and a present market gives you what is called the product development. A new product and a new market gives you what is called the diversification. So this is considered an important matrix in marketing given by this gentleman Ansoff. It is also referred to as product market expansion matrix. This Ansoff matrix is also referred to as product market expansion matrix. It is essentially a 2 by 2 matrix where you are looking at present products, new products. You are looking at present markets and new markets. When you are looking at present products and present markets, it is market penetration. When you are looking at present products and new markets, it is market development. When you are looking at new products and present markets, it is product development. And when you are looking at new products and new markets, it is diversification. So this is again looking at growth opportunities through this prism of this Ansoff matrix.